Video games are pretty cool, right? But what if you could live inside them? The VictorMaxx, with two X's for some reason, Stuntmaster. It's a VR headset for Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, and I had this thing as a kid. But to put this weird device into perspective, let's compare it against probably the best modern OLED head-mounted AR display that you can buy today, the Rayneo Air 4 Pros. Conveniently the sponsor of today's video, so stay tuned. And if you enjoy finding ancient analogs for bleeding edge tech, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. So when Rayneo offered to sponsor today's video and send me their brand new and rather top-of-the-line Rayneo Air 4 Pros, I know exactly the ridiculous shenanigans that we were going to do with these things. You see, my favorite video gaming memory as a kid is using this ridiculous VictorMaxx headset to play the 3D sections of Jurassic Park for the Super Nintendo. Which, oh my god, these did the job of scaring the absolute crap out of me as a kid. All of the basic components were there in this thing. Well, sort of. The Stuntmaster here has one singular, super janky, low quality and blurry LCD screen. The Rayneo Air 4 Pros, on the other hand, have dual 0.6-inch OLED displays with HDR support. Much like the Rayneos, this VictorMaxx has speakers, one for each ear for stereo sound. Of course, Rayneo speakers are tuned by Bang & Olufsen, just right here in the frames. But this isn't a contest about specs. I mean, these two machines are 30 years apart. Obviously, these are going to be way better. Or maybe this will be like the vinyl record, and it's the imperfections that actually perfect the experience. Well, first we got to figure out how to run the Super Nintendo through these things. So let's start there. And no emulation here, we're going completely above board with one of these guys, a super cheap video capture device, and we should just be able to plug in Super Nintendo. And these super cheap devices work on basically any computer because they just show up as a USB webcam. Pop open OBS. There it is, USB video. Oh, we're capturing, look at that. This works great. Now before we actually try Jurassic Park and Wolfenstein 3D, I think it's worth talking about design. These Rayneos are actually the Rayneo Air 4 Pro Batman Edition. Comes with a lot of quite cool extras, including this clip-on bat shade. And while we're talking about design, it's amazing just how far this technology has shrunk. I mean, just look at the Rayneos compared to the VictorMaxx. There's actually a custom chip in these things called the Vision 4000, which Rayneo partnered with Pixelworks to develop. I've been testing these things out, sitting outside with them, watching stuff on YouTube. I watch a lot of nature documentaries and the sounds of the forest. They're crystal clear in these things. Now, perhaps the most striking thing about these glasses is how are they able to shrink down all the technology into something the size of, well, regular frickin' glasses? I mean, let me put this into perspective. Yeah, they fit entirely inside these Stuntmasters. That's wild. These things only weigh 76 grams if you don't count the nose pad. These things don't even have a nose pad. They have a nose sharp protrusion that really freaking hurts. Honestly, I can wear these all day sitting outside watching YouTube videos, no problem at all. Even as a kid, I couldn't wear these things for more than like 20 minutes without feeling like my nose was being chopped off. And that's not even considering all of the tech that's shoved into these glasses. Hee hee hee, Batman. Yeah, the way these glasses work is pretty neat. There's a little camera here that is just detecting whether your face is smooshed up against it, so it will turn these on and off automatically. It has volume controls and some other light controls. You can reset this to go into 3D space by holding these two buttons. But under these two bits here are two OLED displays with a contrast of 200,000 to 1. 1920 by 1080 2D, 3840 by 1080 3D, 145% of the sRGB spectrum, and for how I use these, primarily to watch YouTube videos discreetly outside, these create a 201-inch display at 6 meters away. These things are great even compared to other AR glasses, and I've tried a few actually. If you'll remember, we once took AR glasses that I bought with my own money and connected them to an iBook G3 to create our own bootleg PowerPC Apple Vision Pro. It worked great. And since these are just essentially really ridiculously good displays embedded into glasses, I think we could do it again. Yeah, AR and VR are legitimately the areas of modern tech that I am most interested in. Let me put it this way. Brotato on a Steam Deck, pretty frickin' good. Brotato on a 201-inch floating OLED display. Yeah, these OLED displays are amazing for this kind of thing because they really show up well even on a light environment. I'm here in my studio. I've got one of my lights right in my frickin' face. These OLEDs really compensate for it. But even in like a reasonably dark room, you don't need to put anything over the glasses to get a good experience. Okay, now before we try to power this ridiculous thing on, let's just take a moment to enjoy this ludicrous box art. I mean, just look at this. Alright, wait until you see how goofy this setup is. Gotta unplug the controller, gotta unplug this from the back, yep. Alright, there's our Super Nintendo, and now we've got our VictorMaxx with this super chonky connector. Oh boy, where does that go? Just you wait and see. We need this mess. VictorMaxx plugs in here, and we plug the harness into the back of the Super Nintendo. Then we plug this into the controller port, and then we plug the actual controller into this connector. This thing needs its own power, and it did not come with the power supply. So we got the good old Wii Foamy universal power supply. Crank this up to 6 volts. Ish. Alright, I don't know if you can see it, but these things are on. The screen in there is lit up. Power on. Oh my goodness, it's playing. These goggles actually did have some form of head tracking, and it's this little tube here. Mine, that I just bought on eBay, didn't come with the connector, but you're supposed to put a plastic tube through here that clips onto your shirt. And then when you move your head around, this moves the tube around and goes left and right. Okay, I have created a super janky test rig here so we can get an idea of what this looks like through the actual horrible screen. And I am currently playing, watching this through my camera monitor. All this text is completely unreadable in real life. But that's okay, we don't need to read stuff, we just need to murder some totally generic Nintendo-approved bad guys. Oh, this is not going well. Did I kill someone? Yes, I did! Oh yeah, murdering! Now, of course, the purpose of these glasses is AR, and you can have really good AR experiences when you plug it into your phone. The Ray Neo app actually has some pretty cool experiences built in. One of my favorites being XR Space. Essentially a floating interface that lets you use your phone as a mouse cursor, and you can view pictures and videos, but you can also view stereoscopic photo, which allows you to pick any image that you've already saved and it will generate a stereoscopic 3D version of it, which is actually pretty convincing. But at the end of the day, these are just really good OLED displays powered by USB-C, and you can plug them into just about anything. All sorts of cursed stuff. How about a MacBook Pro running T2 Linux? Yep, that'll work with these just fine. Look at that. And since our super convenient capture works so well, all we have to do is go into preview scaling projector. Guess that's as big as we can make it. Look at this. I am a professional. Alright, so I decided to use the lovely GNOME app Cheese because we can full screen that very easily. And I have set my Mac to mirror displays. So yeah, you're watching me play in the glasses and that's what I'm seeing. And honestly, this works kind of freaking amazing. There is no noticeable lag, and this thing cost me like $15? That might be the best investment I've ever made. I am literally playing Super Nintendo and dying through these AR glasses. And it looks freaking incredible. Let me see if I can show you in the glasses what exactly I'm seeing. Well, obviously, now there's nothing left but to take this thing apart and see what's actually inside of it. I'm really curious to see just how crappy the LCD is. From everything I've read, it's even smaller and crappier than a Game Gear LCD. And boy oh boy, Game Gear LCDs are the worst LCDs ever produced. Probably never put it back together again. How do you come out? Aha! Oh, it's all coming apart. Look at this. Ooh, greeted immediately by a caution sticker. It's my favorite kind of sticker. Let me take a picture of these connectors so we can put it back together again. Out you come. Ooh, look at this stuff. We've got ourselves VR. My goodness, this screen is so much smaller than I expected. First of all, I guess we can take this yellowed mess out. Oh, there's two. Look at that. There's supposed to be two. Look how freaking tiny that screen is. It's like 2 inches. It's literally like half the size of a Game Gear display. That is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, to think, modern AR glasses like these have 2 glorious displays and stereoscopic 3D. This has 1 mediocre display that's barely big enough for one eye, and you're looking at it with both eyes, and I'm pretty sure the point of these 2 lenses is just to focus both your eyes inward at the single screen and magnify it. Although I do wonder if we could hack this into here. We'll save that for another time. So that is the VictorMaxx Stuntmaster versus the really rather incredible Ray Neo Air 4 Pros. It's a pretty incredible piece of tech, and I do really enjoy using stuff like this. Going on vacation soon, and this will be perfect for consuming media from the woods. But that'll do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more stuff like this, please subscribe down below. And thank you very much for watching. And I just want to give a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and channel members. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for supporting me and supporting this channel and all the weird stuff I do. I am so very grateful, and I just could not do this without you.